Hey there YouTube fans, AC Productions here, and today I'm going to be showing you on how to install these sequential turn signals on your motorcycle. As you can see, this is a gsxr 1000, and this pretty much will work on any motorcycle. Pretty much the process is going to be around the same. But for this video, we're going to be doing it on this particular motorcycle, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so first things first, 4mm Allen key to remove that screw. Once you remove this whole panel, there's going to be another bolt holding down the driver's seat, and it's going to be with a 5mm Allen key. So go ahead and remove the panels for both sides. Then go ahead and remove your driver's seat. After that, we're going to have to remove the passenger seat, so get your key to remove the passenger seat, and then I'll show you what to do next. Now that you got all of this apart, next we're going to be doing is we're going to go ahead and remove these screws right here. So one screw here, 4mm here, and this one will be 5mm, one here, one here. After that, if you go down here, you're gonna have to remove these tabs. I'm gonna use the plastic pry tools to remove these two tabs right here. And then over here on both ends, it'll be 4mm Allen key, one here on this side, and same thing, another screw on this side. So go ahead and remove all of that, and then besides that, you have to go down here on the underneath, and there's 4 plastic tabs you're gonna have to remove. So one right here and one right there. So there's 2 on this side and 2 on the other side. So go ahead and remove all of what I just said, and then we'll be able to wiggle this tail piece off. All right, now that we got all of those screws out, you should be able to pretty much separate and kind of wiggle it out. So go ahead and grab it, and there's probably gonna be a little a tab right here. So just pull that part out. There we go. Same thing on the other side. Pull that part out. There we go. After that, you can go ahead and loosen up this middle piece. Just kind of pull it out, and there's that part. And then we should be able to slide the piece back in. So let me go ahead and do that. I don't know if I could even do it with the camera kind of in my way. So we can do it with the camera in my way. Oh, there we go. And there we go. And I guess I could do it with the camera in my way. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the tail piece out, and now we have access to our tail end. Alrighty guys, now to install the turn signals for here for the back, it'd be just a little bit more involved than the front, obviously. So there are, I would say, 2 ways of actually connecting these to your stock wires. Alright, so the first way that it comes with is going to come with these like little bullet connectors. What you would need to do, you can still have them spliced, but don't cut these connectors, and use these posi taps. So the little silver part connects to the end cables of there, and the red part connects to the end cables there. Or you could still cut those cables and cut the factory ones if you still have your factory turn signals, and then just solder the cables. Therefore now you have a factory connector on your aftermarket turn signals. So this is the route that I'm going with, is I cut the factory connector from my stock turn signals, and I just soldered it out on. As you can see, I did a nice professional job. I'm not showing you that really because it's just a very simple thing to do. So that's the way the route I'm going with. So you could try any one of those other methods to do it the way you feel comfortable with, and have them installed. All right, so at this point, you guys are probably gonna comment below or ask me, but Alfonso, if you're doing a tutorial, why not show us everything the way you did it? So we're gonna grab our light, and we have our factory connector here. I already snipped it off of my factory turn signals. So first things first is grab our aftermarket. We're gonna slide the casing over, and then we are going to snip the little bullet ends that we don't need. Let's get our snips over here. I may use this for another project, so I'm just gonna go ahead, line them up, and then cut evenly. I would say probably around there. If you have no plans to ever use these bullets, then just go ahead and cut at the end right there. So now that we cut these in, I'm gonna go ahead and put this off to the side for myself. You guys do whatever with your ends. All right, now that we got that done, next we're gonna go ahead and I had already snipped it on this one, and I snipped it all the way over here at this end. It's like, why not snip at that end? Because I wanna make sure I have enough cable from these ones, because these may not be long enough to get them to where we need to go, and this one will. So I snipped it up here instead of down here. All right, so next we're gonna have to cut a little bit of this casing right here. Let me grab my very sharp knife, and I'm just gonna start probably right about there and kind of just cut a little bit. There we go. All right, now that I cut it, I'm gonna go and peel it out, and I'm not gonna snip this part off, because once we're done, I'm gonna put it right back in. But I am gonna pull a little bit open. So now we're with 2 cables. We got a black one with a brown part on it, and on the other side it's white, and then we have a full black cable. The full black is obviously negative. This one with the white stripe and the brown strip, or the brown little thing here, that's gonna be the positive. We're gonna grab our wire strippers, and we're going to go ahead and strip just a little bit. We don't need to strip that much off. Go ahead and strip that off, and let me get this one in there and strip a little bit off as well. Okay, looks like my strippers are needing to be sharpened. There we go. All right, so after that, we're gonna twist the ends. Okay, now that we got that one set, we're gonna do the same thing to these two. Strip the ends of it. Okay, next we're gonna grab our heat shrink tubing, which is gonna be 2 tubes, and it's the size of this is gonna be a 1/8 inch. Go ahead and slide it on both positive and negative. All right, so now that we got that slid in all the way, there we go. Okay, next we're gonna grab our stock harness, and obviously all black is gonna go to black, and then the black white stripe with the brown part is gonna go to the positive. So what I normally do, let's see if we could do it with the camera in front of me, is that I normally do an X pattern to get this on there. So make it like an X like this. Once you get it like that, then just go ahead and turn one over, hold it, turn the other one over, and then just kind of just start twisting it so that they're in line. Then give it a nice good twist, and it should look like this. Let's go ahead and do it again with this one. Make the X pattern. Once you get it, you can flip one over, flip the other one over, and keep on holding that one that you had flipped at the beginning to hold it in place, and then twist it. And there we go. Now we're gonna slide over our heat shrink tubes. Get it in like that. There we go. And then we're gonna slide the other one in. And there we go. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and put some, get my lighter. Might as well just do everything on camera here so you guys could see. The lighter, and then just heat the tubes, and they'll just shrink on its there. Everything's good to go there. All right, so next to do is we're going to, that part that we had cut before, the slit, I'm just gonna kind of wrap it over like so. Kind of like really pinch this other end, and then grab the sleeve that we had pulled before and kind of just try to get it to see if I can kind of cover as much as I can. So you guys do the same while I do the same. All right, this is as best as I can get it. We're gonna grab a zip tie and we're gonna cinch it down right over here. We're gonna get pretty much right at the edge there since I was only able to get the edge. So you guys do the same. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it on there really good and then cinch it down. There we go, that's one. And then we're gonna grab a second one just to kind of close this other one off. Go ahead and put your zip tie in. All right, there we go. And then I'll probably just cinch it down right about there. All right, we're gonna go use our snips and we're gonna cut the ends off of the zip ties. All right, now that I cut the ends off, there we go. So now we got a more professional looking cable that still uses the stock connector for our bike. And this method will apply to any motorcycle out there. It doesn't particularly have to be the gsxr 1000 or anything. Same goes for R3s, anything out there. So now that we got this going, so now let's go ahead and go to the bike. Okay, now that we got everything situated, now would be a good time to actually put a little bit of thread lock. We're going to use blue thread lock onto the screw right here. So I'm going to put a little bit on there, and then we're going to put it install it on this end over here. All right, to do so, we're going to go ahead and put the cable in through the hole, pull it all the way through. Okay, then we're going to get our nut right here, grab the cable, feed it through in, put it through here, to through there, come all the way through, and then start screwing it in from the other end. You want to make sure that you hold the turn signal in the desired position of how you want it. You know, you don't want to be too up or too down. Just kind of eyeball it, looking at it, and making sure it's at the right level. After that, you're going to go ahead and grab your wrench. I'm just using this adjustable one because I'm able to kind of just adjust it to whichever size screw that I need. And then we're just going to go ahead and tighten it down. All right, it's looking really good now. I already got my bolts tightened. Now we're going to grab our cable and we're going to fish it through the bottom part. All right, so there's a little hole over here in the plastic, so if you can, just go through here and feed it through the hole. Let me see if I go through this side to show you and where it comes out. It'll pretty much come out in this little pocket area. Kind of see the cable right there. So the cable is going to go through this hole. It's going to come out through here, and then we're going to grab it and go ahead and connect it to our connector. Okay, everything is cinched down and also connected. To connect the turn signal, super easy. You just plug it into here, the snap, and that's pretty much it. So black to black, gray to gray, we're all good. Okay, now let's check about the turn signals. Let's go ahead and turn on the bike on accessory mode. Okay, let's set the right turn signal. So that's the right turn signal, working good. And now it's on hyper flash, but we're gonna fix that in a minute. Now let's do the left turn signal. And as you can see, that one's working perfectly fine. So now let's actually cancel that and let's do our 4-ways. On the gsxr 1000, we do have 4 ways. And you can see it's working on a perfect normal because all 4 are working all together, so it slows down the rate. So that's that. All right, so now that we know that everything's working properly, Now I could go ahead and pretty much tidy up everything, and let's go ahead and put our cover and everything back together. All right, the tail is almost done. I just wanted to let you guys know it's kind of tricky because we got to make sure that we line up the tab here in the tail and the little tab over here, so they kind of like lock into place like this. So just be mindful on both sides that you get both of those in really good without breaking the tabs. After that, you just pretty much just pop the ends like we pretty much the reversal of what we just did to take it out. So now we're just going to go ahead and put all our little tabs at the bottom, our screws on the top, and tidy up everything. Now before I continue any further, if you guys are wondering what the second hole on the bracket is for, you can see we got this hole and then we got the second hole over there, and that's for if you wanted to install your stock turn signals back on. Let me show you. That's for that second hole. So you got your screw-on hole, and then this is that second hole where the cable comes from or whatever on your stock turn signals, and that's pretty much why you have two holes over here as well. Kind of just wanted to show you, tell you guys about that in case you guys were wondering. Other than that, for me, I'm going to use that as this point as an anchor point. If I were to in the future maybe get a bag or something, I can use a hook and kind of hook it onto here to anchor down the bag. All right, now that I got everything all tidied up with the screws and everything, now we have one last thing to do, which is going to be installing this resistor. Now this is an adjustable resistor that we can install in right over here, and to locate your resistor for your turn signals, it is right here. Now this one is for the stock one, this one is for aftermarket LEDs. So let's go ahead and slide this little guy out and then just go ahead and unplug it. All right, it should be able to unplug a lot more easier than that. Let's see, put this little guy there. There we go. Just unplug it, and then we're going to go ahead and plug in this one. Now you see in the center of this there is an adjustable thing on here. You get a small screwdriver, and let me get the camera to focus. All right, so here is the adjustment point that I was talking about. If you get a small screwdriver, you could turn it left or you could turn it right. So right now I'm going to have it just set at the middle. That's how it came. So let's put it back in the middle right there. We're going to plug it in, and then we're going to turn on turn signals. And then from there we can adjust on how fast or slow you want the turn signal to flash. All right, so pretty easy to install. Just gonna go ahead and put this in like so. All right, let's kind of hard to hold this connector in. There we go. It's in there now. So let's go to the back of the bike. Let me turn it on, and let's put the signals and see if it's set to a right speed. If you want it to go a little bit faster or slower, just take the resistor box out, turn it a little bit, and plug it back in. Keep on doing it until you're satisfied with the way it flashes. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the bike, and then let's go ahead and put the turn signal. No, it's pretty, actually it comes fairly at a good speed. I may just adjust it just a little bit to get it a little bit slower. Not bad. Well, I'm just going to take it out and do just a little finer tune adjustment and get it to blink a little bit slower. All right, I think right there I'm pretty satisfied with the blink. Now, if you're looking at the resistor with the little clip on the top, if you turn it to the right, it slows it down. If you turn it to the left, it speeds it up. All right, so now that I'm satisfied, now that one resistor is going to control all four of these turn signals. So you don't have to do anything extra. That's like the main one that controls all of them. Okay, now that I'm satisfied with the speed of the turn signal, we took the rubber piece from the old one. Now we're going to go ahead and install it on the new one. Now this is going to help secure it onto the little clip that it's here. So just on one of the slits is going to go to the clip on the resistor, and the other slit's going to go onto the bracket. So just go ahead and slide one end in as far as you can get this guy. Might be a little tough because it's a brand new resistor clip. Once you get as far as you can get it, you can go ahead and slide it in over here. Okay, there it is, nice and secure. All right, so all that's left to do now is we're going to go ahead and put our main seat back on and our passenger seat back on. Let's go ahead and put the passenger seat in, as that's the super easiest. Not like the other one is any harder. Let's get that in there right there. Get our seat. Obviously we got these clips right here. They're going to go into the loops right there. All right, slide that in. After getting the seat in, go ahead and put your bolts on each side, one here on this side and one there on the other side. After that, we're going to put our little plastic piece on and make sure that you loop it, or get it onto the piece over here as my camera gets crazy. Put that piece in there, be careful, and velcro the piece that goes over here. And then there's a rubber grommet that goes right here on this side, right here by my finger. So just kind of slide everything in place and then put the screw in, which goes right over here. Okay, now to get to the front turn signals. All right, so underneath underneath the front of the bike, remove some of the push pins. There is one right over here, one over here. Pretty much we have to remove this hole underneath just so we get some leeway on the turn signal, which is right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pretty much almost all those push pins you have to remove to kind of get a little bit of leeway to actually get in there. Then after that, it's going to be a 10mm socket or open end wrench actually to get in there to actually remove this thing out of here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and you guys do the same. Okay, now that you removed all of those pins, then you can go ahead, grab the plastic from here, and then, well, obviously you had to remove this one. After you remove that one, and just go ahead and pull it gently, and there you go. Now we have access to the 10mm size bolt that's right here. You're gonna see the turn signal cable is right over here. Go ahead and unplug it. Same thing on this side. Remove the plastic, and you're gonna see the cable, which is right here. Go ahead and unplug it on that side as well. 10mm open end wrench on this side and on that side. Go ahead and start removing the screws on both ends. Alright, so here is the turn signal, as you can see on how out of focus my camera is. So pretty much it's the same method I did from before, is using your stock connector. So now that we got this going, we're going to go ahead and put it into the bigger hole. You're going to be left with a little hole over here exposed. I don't have, and these turn signals didn't come with a little kind of a plate that would cover that hole. I may just go into the hardware store and find a little plug that I could put over here. So that'd be that. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and stick this through here, and then from the other side I will grab it. Actually, I'll just pull it in all the way. Alright, so there we go. Actually, you know what, before we do it all together, or big explosion, it's a 4th of July weekend, that's why you hear all the bombs. Right now would be a good time to put a little bit of thread lock on there before we actually put it in. So when we put our nut on this side, I also found a nice spacer like this to fit over this piece over there. So that way the nut has a surface to actually, you know, hold on to. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some thread lock. You guys do the same, and you pretty much just repeat the process on this side. And then don't forget to actually, you know, plug in your connector and tidy up the wires when you put it inside. All right, now I already got everything in place, as you could see on both ends. Now before we button everything up, let's go ahead and put our turn signals and make sure everything is connected and working properly. All right, that one's working really good. Okay, now let's cancel that and let's put this one. And this one's working really good too. All right, so everything's working really good. So now I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna do the opposite of what we just did. Let's go ahead and snap these back in and both sides, and put our cover over here and put all the little push pins back inside. Alrighty guys, and last but not least, we're gonna put this little cap, which is gonna cover the hole of where our turn signals are. So it's just a little small cap that I picked up at the hardware store. You may wanna bring your bike. I don't exactly remember the name of this little cap, but it's over in the screw department if you guys go to your local hardware. Alright. So we're just gonna go ahead and put this little cap so you can shine the light in there, and then just pop it inside. And there you go. That kind of covers that little absent hole on our turn signals. So it gives it a lot better and cleaner look for sure. And make sure you do that for both sides. Alrighty guys, now here is the final look, and it's looking really good. I'm really liking it. Too bad that the camera doesn't really capture on how well they blink. Well guys, that pretty much concludes the video. If you guys enjoyed the videos, please smash that like button. If you haven't yet subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell. That way you guys are up to date with my latest videos. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you have anybody else that's looking to do something like this, please share my video. It helps me out to let me know that you are looking out for each other and helping that person out that might be struggling to install something like this on their bike. If you disliked the video, please smash the dislike button. Let me know in the comments below why you disliked the video, and this will help me improve to make future videos. And thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys in the next video.